Hello, everybody. Ashley here. I'm going to be playing a fun online digital card game called Legends of Runeterra. It's made by Riot Games, the same company who did League of Legends. It's a very popular game. League of Legends. A lot of people have heard of it or played it and maybe watched the animation called Arcane. That's quite a good series on Netflix. And they've also made some other well-known games like Teamfight Tactics. It's quite popular at the moment, and Valorant. So it's currently, at time of filming, March 2025. So this game's been around for about nearly 5 years now, which for a card game to still be around is pretty substantial. It's probably going to stay around, I think, for a lot longer, especially if it gets the support which it deserves. The art, I like the art mostly. The problem with it, though, is it's been suffering quite badly with the generations of funds from the game. So a lot of people don't actually buy this cosmetics and stuff. They sort of just play the game, experience it. They do a little bit of PvP, maybe get beat by somebody and badly, and they don't keep playing the game. They stop and they go back to something else that they enjoyed. But yeah, we're going to be doing Legends of Runeterra. It's one of those games where it's sort of like dead, but there's reasons for that. Like they give you basically everything quite early on if you're good at it, which kind of affects how you play the game. And the devs even quite heavily vocalized the fact that PvP wasn't really working. They were doing like tournaments and it wasn't really getting any traction. It started fading and there were a lot of players were leaving and they were making changes to the game and it didn't really affect that. It made it worse, if anything. So what they started to do was um, they were giving out too much stuff basically, and everybody was getting everything for free, so they wouldn't need to buy any of the cards or any of the skins. They didn't feel like they needed it. Quite similar to say Hearthstone or Magic Arena in terms of like a digital card game. So you've got the cosmetics in there to buy and enhance the experience if you wanted to do it, and content creators benefit from having the skins and everything. But it's very free to download. Anybody could download this and play it and have a good go on it. Especially if you play League of Legends, you probably enjoy it without even spending any money on it. That's pretty good. There's the ability to play casually with a friend, which is good as well. It's a bit fun. Or just against the AI bot, which is kind of easy. I was beating them with the starter decks most of the time. You can do the pathofchampions mode, which is the PvE mode mostly. That's the main one that they try to focus you on, which I'm going to probably do a bit of today. I've not actually done it yet. I've seen some people play it online. Looks quite good. PvP, they sort of took a backseat in terms of support over time, like I said, but you can play with other people online in both ranked and casual, in both standard and eternal. Standard being obviously the cards that came out more recently, or they've sort of adjusted it so that it fit around that format. There's plenty of skin cosmetics if you didn't want to buy the cards, you just want to just show off the skins or whatever. That's an optional thing. But the artwork, especially like the skins and the cards themselves, is actually quite amazing. When you have a champion card, for example, they've got their own sort of animation. They come out and they look really good, and you recognise them if you play League of Legends. So there's a lot of sort of famous characters. The artwork's very for me. Like I quite like the idea of there being dragons and skeletons and spirits and merchants and robots, magical abilities and different creatures. It's quite interesting what they've come up with. So at the time of writing this, I had 371 cards, 371, without spending anything or crafting anything. I'm pretty sure I didn't use any wild cards. And I've not touched PvP. So you do start with quite a decent pool of cards that you can use. And it works mostly around the idea of a 40 card deck, with most decks having the potential to run a few champions, in the decks, like up to six, I think. But they have to be from the regions that you choose for the deck to be around. And then they get the bonus effects as you play. You sort of unlock their bonuses as you play. And then the champions get like extra stats or like a bonus effect when you're trying to win. Quite useful. The regions mechanic is quite clever because you sort of build decks based on the cards that you like the synergies of. and you have to sort of build your deck around that. You can't like differentiate and start putting dragons in like a shadowy control deck. It doesn't really work. You can do like a little bit of both, but you can't do like a really mashup with lots of different types of. So you're kind of stuck into that region, which is good because it means the deck building is quite good. You get a nice variety of different matchups. You do get to sort of see their champions though when you start, which affects like almost like how you know they're going to play. It's a bit like playing Pokemon and you see that they've got dark energy. You sort of go, okay, well, they're playing dark Pokemon. You know, you can kind of guess what they're doing and you can kind of work out what deck they're playing and so on. Just from that, that's kind of a bit of a tell at the start of the game. I don't really like that. I feel like it should be a bit more hidden, but it's part of the game. So I noticed that was quite a key part of the game. You can kind of tell what they're doing before you face them off. Now, this game's got this sort of weird, how do I explain it? It's got this weird mechanic where the spells have got a different speed. So you've got like slow and fast, burst. There's one more. Probably forgot what it's called. But like you can kind of use them to change where you're at in the game. So like in the middle of battle, you can like boost something or heal something or attack their creature before they get a chance to react. That sort of thing, which is quite clever. It's a very tactical situation because they might have the ability to cast that sort of spell when you're attacking them, and they can use it to defend themselves, and then come on the crackback, and it can bring you into a situation where you weren't expecting it. Just based on the fact that maybe they didn't play many creatures doesn't mean they haven't got a lot of spells that they can use to fight with. I think the longevity of the game is an issue because they weren't making much money and they probably still aren't making too much out of it. Even now, I don't think this stream's going to be very popular. Not many people are going to watch it. I just wanted to give it a go, see what I thought to it. So I'm just going to start just looking into the game, I think, now. So plan is to do this free to play. It's quite a free to play game. You don't really buy cards other than wild cards. So if you go on the game and you go to store, for example, you have this sort of like deals section where you can spend coins to get these like power-ups and skins and fragments and stuff. But it's not like cards, is it? Packs and stuff. Vaults and things. It tells you what's in them. Yeah. Fragments and relics and stuff. Like if you're buying cards, you're not really buying like packs, you're buying these. So you basically craft what you want. And you can see I've already got some that I had just from playing the game. And I've only been playing it very small amounts. Just AI. No PvP or anything yet. So I've got like the starter decks here. These are the starter ones. I'm playing them and just doing the AI. The rewards of the regions is the regions. The rewards are like these wild cards. Do you know what I mean? So you get them just leveling up the paths for each region, just getting XP, which means the game's very easy to play, free to play, because you don't really need to buy any. It's all cosmetics. You don't really need, all these skins. You don't need them to do well in the game. Again, Battle Pass optional, some of it's free. Like I got this fragments here. There's no one coming up here. Bronze thing. One gold one. And so on. I think I've probably unlocked 50? I don't know, maybe 100. So I think you probably start with about 300 and something, or somewhere near that. Like I said, I'm not doing very well because I haven't really been playing it. Like I'm quite low on all my percents are quite low. Yeah. Like my masteries, these are the champions. There's a lot more that I don't have, obviously. Like I said, a lot of characters you might recognise. Just if you've been playing League of Legends or anything like that. Okay, so you got home, which is just this page, so it's kind of useless, that button, it just takes you to this bit. You got your weekly vault, so this is kind of what makes it too easy. You get this every week, and you can level it up just by playing the game. And when you level it up to really high, you get like massive amounts of credits and stuff, you know, these crafting things. So every card can be crafted. So let's say, I don't know, this guy. He's a common. Yeah? So you could use these wild cards, to just get one. Or you could craft it with these shards that you get by playing the game. Or you could also get it with coins, which is like money. So you can kind of buy your way through it as well. Kind of. That's like buying a wild card. Obviously, if you want 3 of them, you want to get 3, yeah? But you do get them just by leveling up the regions and stuff, so crafting is a bit like a second thought anyway. You only really do it unless you really want the card. At least that's my experience from what I can think of sometimes. Okay. So now I'm kind of in the deck menu. I might as well show it off. So you've got your decks. I've got some decks here. You got your cards, which is every card, including Eternal. And then you can sort it by the standard and the regions. So for example, Noxus cards, you can see every Noxus card and you can see every standard Noxus card. And you can also see the ones you have and don't have. That's quite useful. Now every card, you can see it and read it without owning it, which is quite nice. Some games you don't get to see what they are. It gives you question marks or something. This is quite good, you can see what they are. So I could say, okay, I really want this card, you know, and I could be like, oh, okay, so I could buy it with the shards, or I could just trade a wild card for it, depending on the rarity. The artwork's amazing in this game. Honestly, it's probably one of the best parts of the game, in my opinion. They've put a lot of work into the artwork. You can see some of these examples are quite impressive. Got their own sort of style as well, which I like. Yeah, you can also search. So let's say, I don't know, Dragon. Dragon's a good example of something that a lot of people search. Obviously, I searched Noxus, so I probably shouldn't have done that. Regions. Yeah. So then it's going to come up with cards that's either say or are dragons. You know, so you've got these Imperial dragons, for example. Yeah. These are cosmetics, like I said, that you might own. You can put them on and use them. For example, I've got Turning 4. I'm not entirely sure how I got it, but I'm guessing I played it on year 4 of the game and got given it or something. And these are sort of an example of what the emotes look like in game, like if you were to, I don't know, lose one of your creatures or something, and you might be like, oh, sad Poro. These giant gem things are for prismatic cards if you want to upgrade them to prismatic here. So it turns them into like a shiny version. I think I've only got one prismatic. I think mine's like Captain something. Is it Captain? Yeah, Pharaon. There you go. You see, I've got, it looks like he's prismatic. He's shiny. Yeah. I'm not even sure how I got it, to be honest. I'm guessing it's quite easy to get them eventually. So, what else have I not shown? So I kind of showed the rewards. So if you were to pick a specific region, specific type of deck you want to build, for example, I'm doing Targon now for some reason. I've just not done Targon at all. But I was doing, let's have a look, what was I doing? I was doing Ionia for a bit and Piltover Resort. So I was doing them for a bit, and you get those cards when you do it. So if I was to keep doing this, I would get Targon chests, Targon capsules, Targon chest, Targon capsule, yeah? Cards Targon in it. So it doesn't say that, it just says 3 rares, an epic, and a champion. But that means a champion that's from Targon. Yeah? That's quite important to know. Okay. Challenges. I did all the challenges. That's fair. I did all the challenges. That teaches you the game. Pretty much. Teaches you the game. You just do them. You get like a little mission reward bar and you work your way along. Doing the challenges and so on. It wasn't that difficult. Kind of resets you as well if you fail. You just let you do it again. So if you click play, it's like PvP. And you can just play like Eternal Casual. Yeah? We'll click on this. Eternal Ranked. Or standard ranked, standard casual. So I'm going to do an AI and I'm just going to use the first one because that's what people will probably do. The first time they try it, they'll probably do this, right? So we're going to do that. It's quite quick because it's AI. It gets into it really quick.